Hello and welcome to StudyIQ English, your one-stop destination for success in the UPSC Civil Services exam. Welcome to today's quick discussion on a topic that has become the new buzzword when it comes to the discourse on environmental protection, climate adaptation, improving soil fertility, and ultimately bringing down the human carbon footprint. We are talking about biochar and the potential of biochar, its uses across agriculture, industry, and ultimately in a sustainable use of resources. So let's begin by looking at what exactly is biochar. The fact that just a few days back, The Hindu had a detailed discussion on the potential uses of biochar, not just for the farmers but also for the industrial houses. So, biochar then is a type of charcoal that is extremely rich in carbon. It is produced from agriculture residue as well as the organic component of municipal waste. And this is where the catch is. India is one country which generates tons of waste every day. However, unfortunately, all this waste is not disposed or even recycled properly. A majority of the waste component, which is organic, which has the potential of being recycled and being used for other useful purposes, is also going down the drain. So here comes the importance of biochar for a country like India. We can utilize our waste and then create something which is as useful. So biochar looks like a very granular coarse material, essentially absolutely light to dark brown to completely black in color. It is often produced in a simple industrial process by heating the crop residues to about 4 to 600 degrees Celsius without the presence of oxygen. Now, this material that comes out is an extremely carbon rich material, and usually the process which gets us this material after enough hydrolysis, after enough heating is achieved, is known as the process of pyrolysis. Pyrolysis refers to the use of excessive heating to obtain the biochar. Now, if biochar is such an important ingredient, if today we claim that use of biochar can not only improve the soil fertility, but it can also help us in managing our waste better, it can also help us in capturing the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere. How come biochar is such a potential resource then? So please understand that biochar has a massive role to play when it comes to carbon sequestration, which means absorbing free carbon in the atmosphere, which means our carbon footprint goes down and the environment becomes much more clean. Air pollution as a chronic problem in Indian cities can also be brought down by the systematic use of biochar. Now, among other uses, one thing done by biochar is also to help in energy production. Now, India is an energy hungry economy. We all know that government is making massive investments every financial year into harnessing the solar power, flourishing an economy that's based on natural gas. And in this comes the potency of biochar. So let's understand that as a country, as a growing economy, we generate over 600 million metric tons of agriculture waste every quarter and over 60 million tons of municipal and solid waste in the cities every year. Now, with lack of sufficient disposable mechanisms, a significant portion of this waste, as I said, is either just thrown into the landfills. From there, it causes more problems like the problem of leachate, the leaking of the wet component of this waste into the groundwater, into the agricultural land that's extremely toxic. The other solution is burning that waste. Now, it's very good to remember here that every winter season, Delhi and the NCR region experiences extremely poor air quality. One of the key reasons has been attributed to the burning of crop residue by farmers in the Punjab-Haryana belt. And this is a yearly problem that we face. Why? Because in India, the easy method of waste disposal happens to be burning it openly, or simply just letting it go semi-burnt, half-burnt. What does this get? This gets us air pollution, specifically with methane and particulate matter. So, not only does the carbon footprint increases, but also nitrous waste further percolates down the environment. Now, these are causing various kind of health diseases. These are causing various kinds of diseases associated of the non-communicable disease category, such as lung cancers, asthma, the COPD, apart from that, various other ocular and dermatological infections. So, here comes the importance of biochar. When we say that just by using about half of the total extra waste that we produce as an economy, we can make 15 to 26 million tons of biochar. So it is a very cost-effective production process. With the minimal amount of waste usage, we are producing something that's in turn helping us clean our environment. Then we can also, by producing so much biochar, remove about 0.1 gigatons of carbon dioxide annually. Imagine the benefit that we can reap from this. Aren't we indirectly talking about creating a closed economy, a circular economy? We spoke in one of the videos about circular economy, the very futuristic model of production, manufacturing and distributing, where, in fact, even consumption, where nothing goes for waste. Because every waste becomes an input, becomes a raw material to create something that's even more useful for the economy. So therefore, byproducts, the side end products of biochar, such as the syngas, such as the bio oil, and such as many other smaller residues staying behind, can also help us in producing cleaner energy. We can use it for electricity generation. We can use it as fuels in the vehicle segment. So you see, this becomes a very, very multi-dimensional benefit of biochar. No wonder it's making news. It is looking like the future. It is looking like the fuel for tomorrow. Now, can biochar actually help in improving carbon sequestration? Can biochar actually clean out the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere by acting like a carbon sink? So, biochar is called a carbon sink because it has the capacity to hold on to carbon in the soil for about 100 to 1000 years. When all the carbon happens to be trapped, naturally, its release in the environment becomes lesser. So, due to its strong and stable characteristics, yes, biochar can absolutely be used as a solid trap for carbon dioxide and carbon. So, therefore, we call it a carbon sink. Not only this, but then across various sectors, it can prove to be extremely profitable, extremely cost effective. Now, let's have an example of the agriculture. In agricultural lands that are semi-dry and nutrient depleted, biochar can also stop nitrogen oxide emission by 30 to 50%. Apart from that, in the construction sector, biochar can also be used as a low carbon alternative to creating building materials, concretization. Additional 2 to 5% of biochar can be used to make more strong bricks that can help us in using lesser resources and yet going ahead with our urbanization plans. So now, with minimal utilization, the benefits of biochar seem to be tremendous. In today's world where India as a growing economy craves for more and more energy, more and more electricity, much better sustainable use of materials. Now recently, the Indian government has also revised its target of its carbon emission reductions. It says that by 2030 we can reduce our carbon emissions for up to 45% as compared to the earlier levels. To achieve this, a circular economy seems to be the only valid solution. And what, apart from resources like biochar can enable us to achieve that. So on that note, let's have a quick question that came from UPSC 2020 prelims exam that was based on biochar. Direct questions have been coming, and even for the mains. When we talk about the GS paper 3, science and technology, alternate fuels, alternate energy, green energy resources, plus when we talk about agriculture, improving agriculture fertility, creating a closed economy, all these subtopics in UPSC mains GS paper 3 again include biochar as a crucial topic. So the question here says, what is the use of biochar in farming? The question had three options. The first one said biochar can be used as a part of growing medium in vertical farming. Two says when biochar is a part of a growing medium, it promotes the growth of nitrogen fixing microorganisms. And the last option says when biochar is a part of growing medium, it enables the growing medium to retain water for a longer time. You have to select which of these statements are or is valid. So if you find the answer to this question easy after the discussion that we had, then you can absolutely post your answers in the comment box below. I'd love to hear your answer. And then, of course, if you choose to answer, we can discuss the right answer and go about the explanation to the question. Thank you so much for being with us. And please like, share, subscribe, Study IQ IAS. All the best.